Good morning, everyone. My name is Edidiong Ibokete. I am a graduate student in the Data Analytics Master's Program at Canisius University, Buffalo, New York. Today, I will be presenting my research on a comparative analysis of pedestrian and cyclist safety trends in Brooklyn post-Vision Zero policy, 2014 to 2024. This study explores the impact of New York City's Vision Zero policy on traffic safety, with a particular focus on Brooklyn due to its high population density, extensive cycling routes, and active pedestrian culture. By analyzing a decade's worth of traffic incident data, this research identifies high-risk locations, contributing factors to pedestrian and cyclist fatalities, and the effectiveness of Vision Zero initiatives. Now to the objectives of this research. The primary goals of this research are: 1. To evaluate the impact of Vision Zero policy on pedestrian and cyclist safety in Brooklyn. 2. To identify high-risk locations or red zones for pedestrians and cyclists. 3. And lastly, to determine the leading causes of pedestrian and cyclist fatalities. Next is the methodology. This study utilizes New York City's open data, which contains over 2 million rows of traffic incident records. The data was analyzed using Python libraries such as Pandas, Matplotlib, and GeoPandas. These libraries were very useful in processing, visualizing, and interpreting the data, particularly in performing geospatial analysis with GeoPandas. The methodology involved the following. 1. Conducting exploratory data analysis to uncover patterns and trends in pedestrian and cyclist incidents, majorly using Tableau exploratory visualization tools. 2. Utilizing geospatial mapping to highlight high-risk locations for pedestrians and cyclists, majorly using Python's library GeoPandas. And lastly, examining the relationship between driver behaviors and accident occurrences to determine key contributing factors. Now we shall be proceeding to the analysis and findings of this research. The line charts analysis revealed a year-on-year variation in casualties of cyclists. As we can see clearly here, the upper segment represents cyclist casualties and the lower segment represents pedestrian casualties. We see a year-on-year change showing a marginal decline in cyclist deaths between 2023, which is this, and 2024. Pedestrian casualties, however, exhibited a more substantial decline throughout the study period, as can be seen with the decrement in the flow of the charts, particularly following the implementation of Vision Zero in 2014. The second finding, the bar chart analysis identified Atlantic Avenue and 3rd Avenue as the high-risk locations for pedestrians and cyclists alike. The heat map analysis further buttressed these points with the various spectral reflectance at these areas of interest. Thirdly, the leading cause of pedestrian fatalities was revealed to be drivers failing to yield right of way to pedestrians, and we can see this here highlighted by the height of this record, which underscores a significant behavioral issue amongst motorists. This failure to adhere to traffic laws not only puts pedestrians at risks, but also reflects a broader need for increased awareness and responsibility on the part of drivers. On the other hand, cyclist fatalities were predominantly caused by driver inattention, as is highlighted here. This highlights the urgent need for stricter enforcement of distracted driving laws and greater emphasis on driver education regarding the dangers of distractions behind the wheels. Lastly, While Vision Zero initially contributed to a decline in pedestrian and cyclist injuries, there has been a resurgence in pedestrian fatalities post-COVID, particularly in the last 2 years. Now to the recommendations. This research underscores the urgent need for targeted interventions to improve pedestrian and cyclist safety in Brooklyn. Based on the findings, I propose the following recommendations. Firstly, the implementation of stronger penalties for failing to yield the right of way and for distracted driving. Secondly, the redesigning of Atlantic Avenue and 3rd Avenue to improve safety for non-motorized road users. This may include adding protected bike lanes, better crosswalks, and enhanced traffic signaling. Lastly, but not the least, the establishment of a system to track real-time trends in pedestrian and cyclist safety to inform future policy adjustments. In conclusion, while Vision Zero has made strides in improving traffic safety, no doubt, there is still much work to be done, especially in light of recent increases in pedestrian fatalities post-COVID. By enforcing stricter traffic laws and redesigning high-risk areas, we can work towards creating a safer Brooklyn and at large, a safer New York for all road users. Thank you for your time.